All right, let's do this. It is June 29th. So, a little bit of a mess. Actually, let's just look at the S&P on a 5 minute for today because it was a real mess of a open. We had initial upside to 74.27. We had a little brief implosion, 73.48, fractionally red, filled the gap, and then the buyers piled in again, and off we went. All the way, then algo bot melt, printing 74.44, something at 74.40. So that was a little bit weird in the morning. I don't know what you want to attribute it to that. Semicon weakness, retail sector wasn't pretty. But one of the notable things is we're back above the 50-day, and Friday's candle, which was a hollow red reversal candle, did play out. And momentum is ticking back up. Probably going to turn positive on Wednesday, so you could easily kind of lean upwards into mid-July at the current rate. I'm starting to think, hey, look, next Fed is the 29th. Why wouldn't we just keep going up into that? You could maybe draw a triangle here, some kind of multi-week bull flag, maybe. But anyway, it sure as hell ain't bearish, is it? VIX down 4%. Again, the default would be to expect VIX to be ground down, especially for a 3-day weekend. All right, let's cover some normal stocks. I'm going to try and keep in mind some of the other names I want to highlight. Apple was down, surprisingly. I mean, clearly the 200-day is important. You need to hold that up, which should be fine. Okay, I'm just going to skip some ones that just don't matter. Agnico Eagle Mines down 2%. The previous two candles were black, so they played out. Again, gold, silver were down today. I'll highlight them later. American Eagle down 4.5%. Yeah, I said retail. Retail had a tough day. Don't know why. AMD up 3.4%. That's a bullish engulfing candle, by the way. Amazon, look at that. Up 3.2%. It did lose half of the gains, though. I mean, I consider it's not a problem. Momentum is due to turn positive tomorrow. So, in theory, 50-day at 255 would be a valid target. ASTS up 21.5%. And that's clearly because of Rocket Lab's takeover bid for Iridium. I would note that Friday's candle was bullish engulfing, and that played out. Momentum is going to turn positive probably on either Tuesday or Wednesday. Look at volume today. Volume really picked up, so that's a positive. And yeah, you could argue now that we got for a couple of weeks. Next target is clearly that resistance threshold, but that'll probably be taken out. In which case, we're looking at $100. That's $14 up. That's about 16%. Barrick Gold down 1%. Not great. Barrick Mining, I should say. Boeing down 1. Again, Bank of America flat. It's had a good run, and there's a little gap down here. There's also a good back test to the 53s, maybe. Look, cyclically, it's weakening. This isn't great into earnings during a couple of weeks. Again, cooling back to the 54s, 53s wouldn't be a problem. Wow, that is a problem. BlackRock down 1.5%. It's not pretty. Blackstone down 0.5%. Structure is a baby bear flag. Caterpillar up 3.5%. Still super strong. Miko down 1%. Oh, look at that. Cleveland Cliffs down 5.7% in the mid nines. This is terrible. This was $15 just a couple of weeks ago. 15? It's down like almost 40%. Coinbase at 1.7. That reminds me of MicroStrategy, which was up 12.6. And yeah, I said on X today, one positive day does not change long-term horror. STRC. Okay, that closed up 12.2% as well. It was a black candle briefly, but it does lean short-term bullish. Also note that Friday's candle was a hollow red reversal. That's bullish most of the time. Salesforce. That's not, considering the main market today, that's pretty lousy. Decker's down 3% ahead of Nike earnings, which are due Tuesday after hours. Disney down 0.2. The Google up 4.8%. Day one within a Dow. And you got to think you can just extrapolate and say, look, February, March, May, June, similar. Are we going to get another wave up now for about 5-6 weeks, maybe? If we do, that would get us into mid-August, maybe to 420, 430. And since Google, of course, is day one of the Dow, let's jump to Verizon. Verizon was down 5.2%. And the concern with this, of course, this gigantic bearish wedge, which did play out there, but then we went back into it, stalled. This was a kind of a bear flag, and now we've already briefly broken the 200-day, and there's this big orange gap. That's got to have to be dealt with. We could be tagging that within a couple of days, so we're probably going to fill it to the 39s. Yeah. And Verizon reminds me of Comcast, CMCSA, which is going to split into two, but not for another year. Comcast was up 4.5%. Most notable thing, though, is look at this. The sellers appeared and sold this one all the way back down to the 24s. That's a horrible candle. Yep, that's not good at all. All right, where were we? Oh, yeah, Google. Home Depot challenging the 200-day where it will be prone to stalling. You flow down 0.9. Again, the silver miners are struggling. Intel up 2.6. Intel was down 2-3% for a while. That's quite an impressive bounce. Again, you can see the 50-day. Bullish unless it goes under. I do think, though, I was looking at this today again. If you're, I mean, it's so crazy low, but I mean, look, there's a little gap here. There's a key price threshold, the back test. You get this giant orange gap, never got filled. The red gap got tagged, but it's, I mean, the valuation's crazy. P is roughly 100. Joby down 2%, not great. I need to update this. Hang on. This name is going to end up off my chart very soon. See, what I need, I've said it before, I need an AI program that I can just tell what to do. I'm like, hey, AI, just reposition these damn annotations so I don't have to do it manually because it is a pain. It'd be very simple to do. AKR down 1.3. Dollars down 1%. Meta up 2%. Not pretty though. I mean, it's not great. It's a giant head and shoulders on a monthly chart. That it remains a giant head and shoulders. MP materials at 1.5%. I like this, but I still think it's got to come down to probably fully fill red gap to $30 before the midterms. That'd be a much more attractive level. Microsoft down 1.2. That's not great. Micron up 1%. So that's an impressive turnaround. So 1,023 low, closed at 1145. That's 100. That is 120. Wow. Yeah, $122 upside reversal. $122. That's it's amazing. I mean, again, if you assume annual EPS of $120, the PE is currently 9. That's all, 9. And people think it's expensive because it's 1145. Well, yeah, it's expensive relative to where it was last August, 103, last July, 103. But that's because earnings have gone up exponentially. Netflix still struggling. Nike at 1.8% ahead of earnings. Friday's reversal candle played out. The most bullish scenario would be a tag of teal gap. And Nvidia up 1.3%, bouncing off the 200 day. That's a positive. We do have an upside gap here to deal with. So maybe we can get back to $200 before the weekend. Probably. Not great. Look at this. Much like Salesforce. Oracle 250 down to 147. That's $100. That is 40%. 40% downside. That's it's a multi-week crash wave. It's not. I would accept it's done some massive declines before, but 40%, just that little bit there. Again, recent earnings were good. Occidental Danks of or was kind of up a bit, I guess. It's prone to flooring at the 200-day and orange gap. The bold will be buying. This was 67. It's now 49. It's a good driller. Pan American Silver down 1.7. They're trying to hold from this little gap area, but I don't think it's got to hold. I think 32's. Palantir up 2.5%. I will note that that is a black candle today, though. You'll wonder if Michael Berry's got to cover the rest of his shorts soon. It is a black candle for PayPal. So Rocket Lab was up 15.9% to 98.01, which is surprising considering most times a bidder will get knocked down. Momentum due to turn positive in either Wednesday or Thursday. Volume was up today. IRDM was the company it's looking to buy, Iridium. That was up 25.4%. That's impressive. So you have a little multi-week cooling wave, and then bam, look at the volume. Clearly, a lot of people are just selling out because it's got to be taken over. Momentum's turned positive. Clearly, the stock's not going to be around for much longer. Much to say about that one. SpaceX up 7.1%. Need to add some more days. I still think it's going to go down to 100 or below before the midterms. It's almost inconceivable that the market will just keep going straight up without at least one correction before the midterms, in which case SpaceX will get clobbered briefly. Target finally cooling back down 4.5%. Tesla. Yeah, Tesla had a strong day. So Friday saw a bullish engulfing candle from support threshold. Today was up 8.5%. Pretty impressive. Momentum will turn positive at the Tuesday open. Again, yeah, that's the last sort of thing you should be trying to short there. That would be madness. Take two up 3.6. Still a good 4 and a bit months away from Grand Theft Auto 6. United Airlines, a little weak. Exxon down 0.3. All right, let's just jump to oil. As I speak, oil's up 1.7%. A lot of chop though. I mean, cyclically, the setup favors the bulls into July. My guess is, and is my default scenario, we just chop around within this all the way into Labor Day. I mean, you can argue we've basically effectively done a full retrace to the war breakout threshold of the 67s. It's close enough. So, unless there's a major war resumption, or if it's going to turn sideways for months. Silver, which is not the pretty area. All right, so as I speak, silver's officially down 48 cents, 0.8. They're trying to bounce it a little bit, but it's not great. I'm not going to cover the monthly charts because I did that other weekend and I don't have enough time, and your attention span is way shorter than mine. As I speak, gold's down 70 bucks, 1.7. Short-term structure is a little bear flag, 4,016. There's no way that 4,000's got to hold again. We could easily break it overnight. My guess is, and of course it's crazy talk, gold 3,000. And if gold's 3,000, silver will be around 35-ish. 35. 35. Now I would accept that's going to need the S&P to be down at least 10%, if not a bit more, to around 6,000 S&P. Hey, Tom Lee has the same kind of outlook for the market. You can dismiss me easily, but maybe him not so much. So gold, silver still broken. Bitcoin is just churning around 60,000. I mean, technically it's up 1%, but really it's a couple of days of chop. And on a monthly chart, which I like, of course, more than any other chart. I mean, look at that. It's down 18.2% for the month. The fact it's already broken a new cycle low of 58K. So we'll lower highs, lower lows. Where's the support? 50 to 49. Under that, there is nothing until 20. I'm dismissive of this threshold. I don't think that's important anymore. 20K. That's the ultimate support. I saw George Gammon, whom I did watch a bit of today. He was talking about the fact that he's looking to buy Bitcoin back. He didn't say 20K, but if I spoke to him privately, he'd say, yeah, 20K would be a really good level. What did the dollar do today? Probably nothing, right? Yeah, just a touch of cooling after recent gains. Again, in the scheme of things, these currencies move very little, even on a multi-month basis. All right, what do we want to do? I guess we'll end it with a monthly chart. Why not? So, with one trading day left of June, Q2 and H1, S&P is still down 139 points, 1.8%. We are clearly not going to get a bearish engulfing candle. You could argue we could argue we have a bearish hammer candle right now. My issue would be we did print a new historic high this month of 76.20. That's pretty damn bullish. And I remain annoyed that March did not see a washout like it did last March, because we broke the 10 MA, very similar, and then boom, on this, partly on the ceasefire. Again, my broader guess is that we come down to either 6,000 or trend by the midterms, and then resume upwards. Partly on the notion of higher rates, which of course most people would not understand that higher rates are inherently bullish for equities. Anyway, I'm starting to babble even more than normal. So I'm going to wish you a good evening, and let's see how the month settles. But clearly we're going to settle where we roughly are. Good night.